Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel Firdaus Moroccan Cuisine. Today I'm going to be sharing with you the recipe for traditional Moroccan soup, which also is called Harira. It is usually popular in Ramadan and it's served for breakfast with some dates or our famous sweets that is called chickpeas. So the first step I'm gonna do here is to walk you through the ingredients. So I have about 1.5 cups of overnight soaked chickpeas, 1 cup of cabbage, which is optional, and about 1.5 cups of beef, which is cut into cubes and has some bones as well for flavor, 1 cup of turnip, optional, and about 2 celery sticks cut into small pieces, which I will blend after. 2 small onions and 3 medium tomatoes, and about 1.5 cups of a mixture of cilantro and parsley chopped together. And for the spices, I have ground ginger, some salt, black pepper, cinnamon, and turmeric, and a little bit of olive oil. Over here I will start by blending my tomatoes, onions, and celery, and I'm gonna put them into the pot and then add the other ingredients gradually. So after I added all the ingredients in the pot, for the mixture of the cilantro and parsley, I left a little bit, about 1/4 cup till the end. And for the spices, I will need just a little bit of cinnamon, about 1/4 teaspoon, just for the flavor. And for turmeric, I put 2 teaspoons. For ground ginger, 2 teaspoons. Salt, 2 teaspoons as well, but with salt, be careful, it's based on how salty you want it. And for black pepper, is about 1/2 teaspoon. And one thing I forgot to mention at the beginning is for the ingredients as well, is I will need about 1/4 cup or 1/2 cup of lentils, and about 1 cup of fine noodles, and tomato paste and some flour to mix it. And for the olive oil here, since I'm measuring with teaspoon, so I put about 3 to 4 teaspoons. So with this soup, I right away add water. So the quantity of the water I put here, I put about 5 cups of water, and then of course you can add after. So I put it in the pressure cook and close it for about half an hour to 45 minutes until my meat and chickpeas are cooked. Then I'll add the rest of the ingredients. So now that my chickpeas and meat are cooked, what I'm gonna add is lentils. I forgot to mention these items and the ingredients in water, so I'm gonna add them now. The reason I don't put lentils at the beginning, because they cook fast and I don't want them to make my soup dark, to give it that dark color. When the lentils are cooked, I'm gonna add these fine noodles. If you don't have these fine noodles, sometimes what I do is I take the spaghetti and then cut it in small pieces, or you can find this in any market. Noodles are cooked. I'm gonna add this noodles, not that much, just a bunch. Like so. I'm gonna add my tomato. So I just left a little bit here because I'm gonna mix it with the flour and the water. So here I'm gonna take about 1 tablespoon of crushed tomato that is left, and I'm gonna mix it with water and about 4 tablespoons of flour. I'm gonna whisk them very well, and I'm gonna add it to our soup so it can be thickened. It's important here, once you add the noodles and the flour, that you keep stirring your soup, otherwise it's gonna stick to the bottom. One thing that I do with my soup when I see that foam coming on the top, which is usually from the tomatoes, and it's acidic, I just take it out, so that reduces the acidity on my soup. So as you stir, the acidity that foam will come to the top. Just start taking it out until you don't see it anymore. Now I'm gonna add a little bit by little bit my flour texture. So the reason for that, I don't want it to be too thick, so I'll add a little bit by little bit. One more scoop. So what I did at the start, I put about 2 scoops of that mixture of water and flour, and here I saw that it was too thick, so I just added some water. So the same method. So if you see it too thick, you just add water, and if it's too light, then you add a little bit of that flour and water mixture, and continue to take that foam that's coming to the top. Our soup is now ready to be served. I hope I simplified the steps enough for you to try this recipe. And the only difference in my soup is I add cabbage and turnip. Not many people do that, but the rest of the ingredients are the basics of Moroccan soup. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next video.